Hey guys, Kaioken Krillin's here.
And the Trill Dogs in the house!
And we competed in the ARG State Championships for Canada last weekend. And I'm glad to say that I came out in second place with Harudagarn deck, which I'll showcase today. Before that, I'll show off the mat here that top 8 got. So you got the Gods of Destruction on the front. It's a 2-player mat, so on the other side as well. And there's Beerus and Champa. Yeah, it's a pretty cool mat, and there's the ARG logo as well there. And with the tournament, the most thing we saw there was obviously Super Saiyan 3. I played against 4 Super Saiyan 3 decks. 3 of them being blue-green, almost the exact same. Really cool build of the deck, actually. Played against 1 blue-red kind of counter to the Harudagarn meta. And then I faced 2 Harudagarn decks. 1 was running GT, 1 was running a few baby cards in it. And then I was also playing against a Universe 7 Gohan deck. So before we get into the video here, I have a package, some cards. Let's open it up here. Oh god. How do you open this? I'm gonna shred all the cards to pieces. There we go. I guess this is the list here.
What the fuck is that?
Ah, perfect. I don't even care about the cards anymore. Yes, this one was probably the only cool one I got in there, and there's just a couple of staple cards. Okay, so we're using the Harudagarn leader in this deck. This is how I got second place. Basically, with story of the tournament was I was first place for basically most of the tournament. I went 4-0. Then I got paired down against someone. They had a counter deck to the Harudagarn that I just couldn't deal with. Then I lost that match. So we're at 4-1. Went into the top, cut 4. Beat the 4th place guy because I was still in the 1st place seed. And then I had to face the guy who got 2nd place seed. And we already played once before. I won. He was one of those blue-green Super Saiyan 3 decks. And with how the matches were going, he just played better than me in the last match and finished me. And that's how he got 1st place and I got stuck with 2nd place. But it was still a good match nonetheless. And this is the deck I used to get 2nd at the ARG. So it was Harudagarn. So if you don't know by now, when this card attacks, leader card, you may choose one card, one battle card from your hand and place it to the drop area. If you do so, draw 2 cards. So I like this effect way more than the effect on the other side. So I try to keep him unawakened as long as possible until I kind of want to finish. And he's a awaken where you untap 2 energy when you awaken this card at 4 less life. Okay, Awakening Perfection Harudagarn. When this card attacks, draw 1 card. If you have 4 or more energy, your opponent chooses 1 card in their hand and puts it at the top of their deck. This effect is good when you're getting to late game, when people are trying to waste their whole hands to do plays and they only got 2 or 3 cards in their hand. When they place 1 to the top of their deck, it really sucks because anytime they have a chance to draw, they already know what they're drawing. And they usually put back a bad card anyway. They're never going to put back a super combo or a negate. So they're going to just draw into a dead card usually. Okay, so first card on our list here is Saiyan Kaba. So I have 4 of those. Set 1 staple. It's been in the meta forever. When this card attacks, you may choose 1 card in your life, add it to your hand. If you do so, this card gains plus 10,000 attack and double strike. So a lot of people like to play this one off the bat. I don't. I try to hesitate from playing him until the end. I like to finish with Kaba because I don't want to feed their hand too much with the double strike. I like playing this other card much better that came from set 4, the Intensifying Power Trunks. So Intensifying Power Trunks has the same effect that when he attacks, he draws a card, gains plus 10,000. The only difference is he has critical. So what I like to do with him is to swing on my leader, usually first turn, because they'll be like, I'll take the critical. And what I do is when I'm comboing, is I will bring in one of my Furthering Destruction Shampas. So I run 3 of those in the deck. I might not mention the other 2, but the other 2 I both run at 4 with a Kaba and Trunks. And what he does when you combo with his card, card gains double strike, and he's a 10,000 combo power. So if I'm using on the Trunks right off the bat, it's a 25k double strike crit to their face. Which, if they are gonna drop cards for it, they're gonna lose a lot of cards in their hand. A lot of times it'll just take it out of their life. Oh, fix you. Going on to more red cards, I run 2 Foreseeing Hits, so this is kind of a late game card. I know late game now in the meta is turn 4. Everyone tries to end it by turn 2 with these hyper aggro decks. With this card, it's got double strike. When you play this card from your hand, your opponent reveals their hand and choose up to 2 battle cards with 35k or less power from their hand and send them to their warp. At the end of your opponent's next turn, return all the sent cards to their warp with this skill to their hand. So I really like this card just to pull out some super combos so I can finish the game. And I also use this card to see if they have any negates in their hand so I can plan my next move to see what I should overwhelm, which we'll get to our overwhelm cards after. But when I play this card, it's usually the same turn I'll awaken. I'll play him on turn 4, awaken, restand 2 energy so I can have some breathing room to do some stuff. I run 4 Unbreakable Super Saiyan Son Goku, so basically you run this in any deck. Any deck, it's another super combo. When you combo with this card, draw a card. You never want to play this card, you just want to use him for the draw power. Pure and simple, running him F4. I run 4 Chain Attack Trunks. There was a lot of people, especially the judge, who was questioning my antics with this deck because he wanted me to use the Chain Attack a lot more often. I'm going to tell you, I used the Chain Attack Zeno combo once, and it was my second last duel, and I won that battle, that game, but I just don't really like using it too much because it is all on luck. Sure, if they have 15 cards in their hand and I have just this card and a Zeno in my hand, obviously I should be doing it, but most of the time I don't see a fit. So Chain Attack, what he does is when you play this card, choose up to one of your battle cards from your hand with 15,000 or less and play it. With this deck, our only target for that is Zeno. And when you play Zeno, basically what he does, he wipes the board and your hands. So you put everything back except for your energy. Don't do that, you'll get DQ'd. And put everything back in your deck, shuffle it, and both players draw 5 cards. So what you're hoping to do is screw your opponent out of a large hand or fill your hand up if you're really low. Main card in the deck here, the card that everyone hates so much, the Legendary Flute. I don't think this is the problem in the deck. I'll get to the problem in the deck after that everyone should be hating. So if your leader card is blue, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 3 or less, return it to your owner's hand. So it's you or your opponent's card. Return it to the owner's hand. If that card was your own battle card, draw 1 card. So usually what you want to flute back is the Kabas or Trunkses so you can keep swinging with them. So you can swing, flute back, and then replace it with the same Kaba, and you also have a new card in your hand from drawing. Getting into some of our blue extra cards, so we did the Legendary Flute. I run 4 Weezy's Coercion, negate the attack, restand in energy. I only run 4 negates in this deck. You don't even need to really run negates in this deck. Not a lot of people do. I do just for the mirror matchups, so I can slow down my opponent. Just as I was saying, I played against 2 Harudegarn leaders. They were really aggro, and once I stalled them out with the Weezy's Coercions, that's when I found my opportunity to win. Run 3 Sensu Beans. I know a lot of people run 4. I find 4 too not consistent enough. Like I'll grab too many to my hand and I'll not have a use for them. So 3 sensu beans, I think this is one of the problems in the deck for this meta. So basically all it is tap 1 blue energy, and so it's an active battle, so you can only use this when you're attacking, so use it in your combo phase. You tap 1 blue energy and you can restand 2 energy. So basically you get 1 energy for the price of, you get 2 energy for the price of 1. So that can really extend plays with the flute, especially when I can flute something back to my hand, restand something, so it is pretty crazy. On our next trouble card of the deck is 4 Unyielding Spirit Trunks. So with this card, during your turn, when you combo with this card, if your leader card is blue, choose up to 1 of your energy and switch it to active mode. So that's a free energy restand, especially turn 1 when you do that to double strike crit. What you want to do is you have 1 energy down, you play this card after attacking, then you can restand an energy, then put the shop on. That's crazy that you can all do that in 1 turn just from using 1 red energy. Go into the super combo of the deck, so run 4 Hoi Emissary of Flame. So personally is my favorite super combo in the whole game right now. I know Hellas should be out by the time this video is out, which is almost the exact same. But when you combo with this card, if your leader card is Phantom Demon and your life is at 4 or less, you may place 1 card from your hand to the drop area. If you do so, draw 2 cards. This card gains 10,000 combo power for the duration of the turn. So, great for recycling cards, going through, so you can pull those Champas out, or you can pull those other, the Unbreakable Son Goku to draw more cards. I think that's one of my favorite super combos. On to our black cards now. So we run 4 Time Control Chronoas. Sure, this prevents against Shigesh, but I don't think I didn't play against a single Shigesh at the ARG Championships. What this is really good for is a colorless boost attack boo. So you can draw a card. Say first turn you got a red energy down, but you don't have a Trunks or a Kaba. You can just play this with that red energy, draw a card, flute it back, and draw another card. That's what I did a lot of the games too. It was fluting back Chronos just so I can have 2 draws, basically. And that's run at 4. So with this deck, I was trying to run 3 Foos. I couldn't get my hand on my 3rd Foo. I do have the card that I used after for it, but Scientist Foo is what you really want in this deck. You can run it at 3, or you can use the other card that I used. But Overwhelm 7, tap 1, double strike. When you play this card using Overwhelm, draw 2 cards. Great to get hand presence over your opponent. You usually want to run this at 3 so you get more consistent. It is a really good card, but I found this other card to win me a lot more matches, and that's Mirror Creator Absorb. I only ran 1 of these. I had 2 in my side deck. I never really side decked any more of these in, because I got this to my hand almost every game. He's got Overwhelm 4, tap 1. He's got Deflect, so he can't be counterplayed. Didn't have a problem with any counterplay spells either, because everything was mostly blue-red or blue-green. No one was really running too much yellow. And when this card attacks, this card gains plus 5,000 power for each card in your warp for the duration of the turn. That's crazy. Especially if it's endgame, you're going to have a lot of stuff in your drop from Hoi and everything. When you overwhelm this card, you're going to have 20 plus, maybe even 30 cards in your warp. This card is unbeatable if they don't have a negate. What I like to do with this card is, if I use Foreseeing Hits, saw that they had no negates in their hand and they just had combo power, and they're at 2 life, I'd play this card, and then I double strike Champa over it, and that's how I won probably 4 or 5 of my games, was with this Mirror Creator Absorbed. Now I'm just showing some side deck cards you should run as well. I ran 2 of these Mysterious War Masayan. The only reason I ran this was to clear Bergamos, just in case if any blue deck had them. They don't give themselves barrier unless they are running a Universe 7 deck, which I know all these Bergamo decks were not using Universe 11 cards. Universe 11? No, it was Universe 9. Universe 9's the dogs. They weren't using any Universe 9 cards, so I never side this deck in. I just had it there just in case. The main card I did side in is this Aura of Rage Super Saiyan Trunks. So what this card does is you tap 1 for its combo power. During your turn, when you combo with this card from your hand, choose up to one of your opponent's cards with blocker with an energy cost of 3 or less and KO it. There's a lot of people running this Android 16 card, Iron Hammer of Justice. 3-drop, blocker, revenge, and when it KOs a card, it restands. So it was a really big problem. Good thing I thought ahead and I played this card, so I cleared out a lot of them. There was one turn where he had 4 blockers out on me. He had 2 Yajirobis and 2 of the Android 16s. I swung with my leader. Since you can't KO a leader, he obviously didn't want to block with the 16. He blocked with the Yajirobe. Then I comboed 2 of these and popped his 2 16s, making it a lot harder for him to play. And then 2 other cards I had in my side deck that I didn't side. The only card I actually sided was the 2 Aura of Rage Super Saiyan Trunks, and basically all I sided for that was a Cronoa and a Zeno. And I had a Desperate Onslaught Bardock, Overwhelm 5, critical. When this card attacks during the turn you played Overwhelm, your opponent may not combo with battle cards in their battle area or activate blocker for the duration of the turn. Duration of the battle. I just had these 2, never really side them in. It was only the Aura of Rage Trunks, which I think is a very good card to have side decked in this meta, especially if you're running an aggro deck, just to clear some of your opponent's board. Okay, so if you're going second, what you want to do is play down a red energy, tap 1, play your Intensifying Power Trunks, you swing on their leader, see if they have negates. Usually if they're running blue or green, they might have a Whis and a Full Power Energy, so Full Power Energy will KO your Trunks card. They won't use it all the time first round. They'll usually use it when it's more crucial, where they think you can finish them. Say they didn't use it this turn. You're gonna Unyielding Spirit Trunks, untap 1. Don't forget to draw your life for the auto. Then tap your energy again, and Further Destruction Champa. That gives it double strike. It already has crit, so it's at 25k double strike. They're usually gonna take that, and they just lost 2 life to the drop area. And then every turn we want to swing with our leader on their leader, just so we can get the effect of ditching 1 card and drawing 2, just to keep that hand power over them. And usually what I like to do is flute back my Trunks so I can draw 1 and keep it safe for the turn. So say we're getting to late game, so turn 4, what you're going to want to do, if they have a couple of cards in their hand, usually what I like to do is tap 4, play Foreseeing Hit, so you see their hand. What you want to pick out is priority cards would be super combos, also that Unbreakable Goku card. A lot of decks run that as well. You'd want to check for those. Any card that you'd see if you can't finish it this round, something that would finish you next round, you'd want to take out of their hand just to slow down the play. A lot of times, more than not, I'll just take out the super combos. Also, you can check their cards, their hand for the negates. So if they don't have any negates, what you want to do is, by this time they might be at 2 or 3 life. I'm going to Awaken, restand 2 energy, then I'll swing with my leader on their leader. Then I will use his effect, where they pop 1 card back to their hand, back to the top of their deck. If they are really low on cards, I can just end it here by tapping 1, double striking my leader, tapping another 1, Unbreakable Son Goku. A lot of the times you can't do that. I did it about probably 2 times there, killing them with my leader with Double Strike Champa. A lot of times you just want to do that so they put a card to the top of their deck. They'll try to combo it out because they know you're going to try to finish them this turn. If you really need to, you can Unyielding Trunks, so you can get more energy in there. Then what you want to do is play, if you saw they had no negates and you have a Champa in your hand, what you want to do is overwhelm your drop area. You're going to tap 1. That would be in there. So you tap 1, play Mira, swing on their leader. You know they don't have any negates. What you're going to do tap 1, double strike, and then you just dump out your whole hand and combo. Because as long as they're not running yellow, they can't Shigesh Explosive Spirit it, so that's game for you. So that was the Rudigarn deck profile. If you guys liked that, leave a like. Got any questions, leave any comments in the comment section below. Subscribe, and as always, until next time.